Hello everyone! In today's video we're going to be making a cute little rainbow. So for this project you're going to need size 6 bulky weight blanket yarn in all the different colors that you want to put on in your rainbow. And you can also use like the velvet yarn or whatever you want, as long as it's a size 6 and chunky. It'll work for all of these little things we got going on here, like our size J crochet hook. It's a 6mm. You'll also need some scissors, a little yarn needle, stitch markers, really useful. And then also I'm using 12mm safety eyes. And then the last thing you'll need is just a little bit of stuffing. Not too much, but just a little bit to plump up our little rainbow. So if y'all are ready to get started, let me scoochie all this stuff out of the way. And we'll get started with our first color, which is going to be purple. So to get started, we're just going to make a little slip knot and slip that onto our hook. And then we're going to chain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now we're going to single crochet in the second chain from our hook. And then we'll single crochet in the next 6 chains. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now in the last chain we're going to put 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Now, working back up the other side of our starting chain, we're going to single crochet in the next 6 single crochets. So let's see, this is the one that I'm just working in here. So I'm going to go into the next one, which is right here. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we should be back at the very first one or the very last one, and we're going to put 2 single crochets in there. So there's a 1 and a 2. And then we're going to slip stitch into the very first single crochet. But when we do that, we're going to switch to our next color. So I'm going to insert my hook, but instead of drawing up a loop to slip stitch with this, I'm going to switch to the blue. So I'm going to cut my yarn here and grab my blue. And then I'm just going to hook that blue on there and pull a little slip stitch through. And now we're ready to start round 2 with our blue. So I'm just going to chain 1, and then I'm going to do a single crochet in our first stitch and then 2 single crochets in the next stitch. So in this first one, it's just 1 single crochet. I'm crocheting over all of my ends there too to cover them up. You can do that if you like, or you can just weave them all in at the end. So there was 1 single crochet. Now in the next one we'll do 2 single crochets, a 1 and a 2. And in the next one, 1 single crochet. And in the next one, 2 single crochets, a 1 and a 2. And we're going to repeat that all the way around until we have 27 single crochets all together. So here's a 1 and a 1 and a 2 in this one. So in the next one, just 1. And in the next one, we'll do 2 single crochets, 1 and a 2. That's a single crochet increase. So single crochet in 1, and then single crochet increase in the next one. That's where we put 2 single crochets because we're increasing by 1. There we go. And single crochet in the next one, 2 single crochets in this one, 1 and a 2. Single crochet in the next one, 2 single crochets in the next one, a 1, oops, and a 2. And single crochet in the next one, and 2 in the next one, 1 and a 2. And we're coming up on our last ones, single crochet in this one, and 2 in this one, 1 and a 2. Now we're going to slip stitch back to our beginning single crochet, which is right here, but once again we're going to change to our new color. So I'm going to cut this blue yarn, and then I'm going to grab my green yarn. So here's my green. Oh dear, let me pull some yarn out here. There we go. Kind of tight, new ball of yarn. All right, and now I'm just going to hook that green right there and pull it on through. And now for round 3, we're going to chain 1. Once again, I'm going to crochet over my ends to kind of cover them up, and I'm going to single crochet in my first stitch, single crochet in that first stitch, and single crochet in the next stitch. Now in the next one, I'm going to put 2 single crochets. So it's that single crochet increase once again. In the next one, I'll do 1 single crochet. In the next one, 1 single crochet. And in the next one, 2 single crochets. And we're just going to repeat that around until we have 36 single crochets in this little round. So 1 single crochet and 1 single crochet, and this one gets 2 single crochets, 1 and a 2. And then 1 single crochet and 1 single crochet and 2 single crochets, 1 and a 2. 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and 2 single crochets. 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and 2 single crochets. 1, 1, and 2. And I'm coming up on my last ones. Here's a 1 and a 1 and a 2. And I'm back to the start. If it looks like you have an extra stitch there, that's the slip stitch that we did to begin. So don't worry, You're not missing a stitch. You're doing good. You're doing a great job. All right, so we're going to slip stitch here. And you guessed it, I'm going to grab my next color. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I couldn't find purple blanket yarn at a store near me. So this one's velvet, and these ones are blanket. And you can see they work just fine together. For the rainbow, it's kind of all about the colors, not necessarily the texture, I suppose. Now we're moving on to yellow, yellow, yellow. But an all velvet rainbow would be really pretty, wouldn't it? All right. Oh, I've got a little end sticking out there. Get back in there. There we go. All right, now on to yellow. Slip stitch, pull it on through. And chain one. We are ready to start round 4. And for this one, we're going to single crochet. Pull my ends tight there. Okay, single crochet in this first space. Single crochet in the next one. Single crochet in the next one. Now in the next one, we do 2 single crochets. A 1 and a 2. And we're going to repeat that. So we do a single crochet, a single crochet, a single crochet. So we have 3 of them. And then we do 2 in this one, a 1 and a 2. And then we do 1, 1, 1, and 2. 1 and a 2. And just repeat that around until we have 45 little single crochets in this round. This one is a 1 and a 2. Here's 1, 1, 1, 1 and a 2. Here's 1, 1, 1 and a 2. All right, I'm coming up on my last couple, so we've got 1, 2, 3, and this one gets a 1 and a 2. Now we're ready to slip stitch once again and change to our next color, orange. All right, with orange, we're going to do our little slip stitch, pull it on through, and chain 1. Pull those ends a little bit tight. There we go. Now we're going to do 4 single crochets and then an increase. So here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, here's 4, and then we increase a 1 and a 2. And we're just going to repeat that around. 1, 2, 3, 4, and increase a 1 and a 2. So we'll be repeating that until we have 54 single crochets all around. 1, 2, 3, 4, here's a 1 and a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and a 2. So 1 and a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, and here's the 1 and a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, and here's a 1 and a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and a 2. Now we're coming up on our last set. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's a 1 and a 2. And now this time we're going to slip stitch to our first one, and then we can actually cut our yarn, and you can weave it in if you like, or you can just leave it because we could just crochet over it with our last round. But before we put on our last little round, we want to add a little face to our rainbow. So let's see. Oh, and you want to fold your rainbow in half. Here, it's starting to get that cute little rainbow shape, right? So let's grab our other little rainbow so we can see what this little face looks like. So the eyes are gonna go, let's see, about between rows 2 and 3, about 3 stitches apart. So here's row 1 and 2 and 3. So they go about kind of between 2 and 3. Kind of between the blue and the green, and about 3 stitches apart. So there's like a half a stitch, a 1, a 2, and another half of a stitch. So about 3 apart. And then we're going to take the backs of our little safety eyes, pop those on there however you like. Oh, oh dear, these are sometimes so tough. Oh, there we go. There's one. Whew. And here's the other one. I think I make it harder because I put the backs on backwards. I know you can do it like this too, but I feel like that sinks the eye down too far in it. But if you put it on this way, the back kind of pops the eye out a little bit so it stands out a little more. But oh, it definitely makes it harder. Come on, little safety eye. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, now we've got our little safety eyes on, and now for the mouth. I like to do the mouth about 1 stitch wide, and it's about 1 stitch below the eyes. So right about here. So I just need a little bit of red, and that's good because we're going to be using red next for our last little round, right? So this is just one little piece that's going right there, and I think I'll use my needle for this, but you could probably just pull it through with a crochet hook if you want to. All right, and we're putting it right about there. All right, let's make sure that looks good. It's a little bit crooked, but I think I'll keep it. It looks cute. If you wanted to, you could even stitch cute little pink cheeks under each one of the eyes. If you wanted to, that would be adorable. You can make your little rainbow however you want. There we go. He's got cute little eyes and a mouth. Okay, he's almost ready to be your new friend, Mr. Rainbow. So now we are going to grab the red, and we're going to be attaching right over here on the end, right to where you can find the farthest 2 single crochets. So We've got one here and one here. So when we fold them in half, we're going to go through those 2 little single crochets like that. And we're going to be single crocheting through 2 layers to sew our little rainbow in half, to sew him together while we're crocheting him. So let's grab my red yarn here, and I'm just going to pull it on through. And I'm going to chain 1 and do a single crochet in that very first one. And then I'm going to single crochet into each stitch across. Oh, let me find the next one here, right here. And I'll crochet over that end for a little bit, and then I can just fold it into my rainbow in just a minute here. There we go, and then into the next one. And then into the next one. And on and on. You can see we're stitching him closed. Or her. I named my rainbow Raina. Raina Bow, Mrs. Bow. Thought that was a good name for a rainbow. Here we go. And now when you get to about halfway or so, we're going to want to add some stuffing. Not too much though, because this little rainbow is pretty flat. Like it doesn't, you don't want to stuff it too much because then it might lose its shape. But yeah, I'll grab some stuffing here in just a minute. You can also make your rainbow in just 3 colors if you wanted to. And when you do that, you would do rows 1 and 2 in the same color, so you wouldn't change at the slip stitch. And you would change after row 2. And then 3 and 4 would be the same colors. And yeah, I made some pastel rainbows like that that are like lavender with yellow and pink, and they're just 3 colors and they're really pretty too. Alright, so I'm going to grab a little bit of stuffing here before I get too far. And you just want to press it down into our little rainbow there. And that might be enough. That was just a little handful. Maybe just a little more. Make sure I get it all the way to the other side. There we go. Okay. I'm just going to finish up the other side of closing up our little rainbow here. So I have a written pattern on Etsy for you guys if you'd like a really nice PDF with all the step-by-step instructions. Or I will also have it on my blog, so check that out. I'll have all the links down below in the description box. And then you can see all the pictures of the other rainbows, the little pastel one I was telling you about, and stuff like that. Also on my channel I have a video to make a cloud and a sun. So I'm going to be making cute little wall hangings or mobiles that have a little rainbow, a little cloud, and a little sun. So check those out. Those are on my channel already too. There we go. And then once we've gotten to that last one, we can pull our yarn out just a little bit and cut our end. And then we can just weave in that little end either with your yarn needle, or you might be able to just grab it with your crochet hook. Let's see if I can pull this through here. Yuppers. All right, easy peasy. There's our cute little rainbow. And here's this one, and where's my pastel one? There we go. Oh, I didn't add a face to this one. Okay. But there's all of our cute little rainbows. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.